How's it going, everyone? Get this out to some people on Twitter that might be looking to maybe catch the stream here. All right. Got all that done. Hey, hon. Hey, Yulia. All right. The Brewers are in the NLCS. Yes. Not what we're here to talk about tonight, but obviously the Brewers are in the NLCS. I'm well aware. It was a great way to... The Packers lost, so it was a great way to, like, forget that the Packers lost, because the Brewers are going to the National League Championship Series with a shot to go to the World Series for the first time in my life. Last time they went to the World Series was 1982. They lost, but at least they win. All right. So let's get into what this stream's about today. First off, I got to give a shout out to OJ from Player Essence. He did a video today, a live stream, about tips and tricks for YouTube, how to get started, all that kind of stuff. Because people always ask me questions, and I get questions asked of me as well. I usually just DM people and stuff like that. But I was in that stream listening in a little bit, and well, Player Essence basically said, "Hey, why don't you do your own stream on this? Because my take and the way I do things might be different than the way he does things, and the way other YouTubers do things, and my advice might be different." So I'm just going to give a moment and see if we have any other people that want to pop in before I get going. Feel free to ask questions throughout at any time. Stop me, all that great stuff, and let me know if you have specific questions you want to know about getting started on YouTube. But let's just jump into it. First, before I start going through some basic stuff over here. You can see I've got my YouTube loaded up, logged in. Not 100% what you guys might see when you're logged in on YouTube, because this is my subscription page. But how did I get started on YouTube? There's a little history. So this particular channel has been on YouTube since 2008. That's right. This Nintendo Prime YouTube channel is a decade old. However, this YouTube channel is a little unique in that it used to be the official Zelda Informer YouTube channel. Now, Zelda Informer doesn't exist anymore. So it kind of got all of its initial subscribers from people who used to visit the website. The website would get like 1 million viewers a month. And it, anytime we made video content, we would put it on YouTube as a video host and then put that video in our post on the website, share that post to Facebook, Twitter, etc. And that's how it would get views. Obviously, this is an advantage that you guys are not going to have. You're not going to have this, all this experience at an established website to grow your channel. So I want to start off by just noting that where my channel is today was helped through a method that I can't teach you guys to do. It takes way too long to go down that route, and I don't suggest anybody goes down that route. Now, I did have a second channel I started up when things were looking bleak at Zelda Informer and it looked like I was going to be let go. I started up my own YouTube channel, the Nintendo Prime YouTube channel. That YouTube channel is now closed, but that was the initial YouTube channel I had. And even though we were only on YouTube active for 6 weeks, we had grown to over 100 subs. And you might think, that's not a lot of subs. But actually starting out, that is. Our videos were actually averaging about 150 views with less than 200 subs. Like, that's actually a really good viewership to sub ratio. So obviously I was doing something right then. And that translated back to when I was eventually given the Zelda Informer YouTube channel, when Zelda Informer kind of gave me the boot out the door and said, "Hey, can I have this YouTube channel? You're not even using it." The YouTube channel was always me. If you go back to the earliest videos on this channel, you'll see my mug in really crappy webcam on a laptop quality all over the channel, because I was basically the heartbeat of the Zelda Informer YouTube channel. So that's how I got started. But I'll go over more about how I got to where I am now on YouTube as I go over all my tips and tricks. And the first part is obviously how to get started as a YouTuber. The one thing people ask me a lot about is equipment. Before you ever worry about equipment, you know, microphone, camera, it's back there, your cell phone or a computer to edit with or whatever. Before you ever worry about any of that, the number one thing you need to worry about is, why am I making YouTube content? Why do I want to make a video? What do I think I am doing that makes making videos worthwhile? Because not everyone can be a YouTuber. I hate to put this out there, but not everyone is just built to be a YouTuber. And there's different types of YouTubers, whether it's cooking, whether it's makeup, whether it's vlogging, whether it's what I do, talking about video games, whether it's doing theories and politics or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of different ways to approach YouTube, but again, it's not for everyone. So the number one thing is find Jack Angel. Thank you, Jack. Thank you for that $5 from a Giants fan. Go Brewers. The Giants barely lost today, didn't they? I really wasn't paying attention, but I know they were kind of like in a shootout. Animation, yep, that's another way it could be. Maybe you're a comedy. Maybe you like doing comedy sketches. Maybe you're just an artist, or maybe you want to live stream, right? Maybe you want to be a Let's Player. There's a lot of different avenues to go into. And I can't tell you what avenue works for you. Only you know that. So number one, before you ever even begin to edit a video or upload or anything, what do you want to make? What content are you passionate about making? And you might not know right away. You might know, man, I want to make videos, but you might experiment with a bunch of different types of videos before you find one that you like. The big thing is just finding that thing you really want to make, that you feel is different than everybody else. And when I say different, it's not like you can't do the same thing. I'm a Nintendo YouTuber. There are hundreds, if not thousands. Thank you, Ace and Sunny Tech Gaming. $2 super chat. Thank you so much. There's 1,000 YouTubers out there covering Nintendo news. You do not need my YouTube channel to be informed on Nintendo news. But I love talking about video games. And because I love talking about video games, I feel like the perspective I have and the length that I've been playing games, my gaming days go back to the late 80s, early 90s, it provides a nice perspective on things. Plus, I like all systems. Even though I focus on Nintendo, I treat all platforms with the proper respect they deserve, which is not something you're always going to get at some Nintendo channels, because they have a lot of bias towards Nintendo is the greatest and they can do everything, like they can do no wrong, and that's not me. In fact, probably a big hindrance to some of my growth at times is because that's not me. If I was all you rah rah Defense Force Nintendo, I'd probably have a lot more subscribers. But that's just not what I want to do. So the big thing I'm emphasizing there is not just finding the content you want to make and finding your unique way to present that content, but also making content that you yourself would enjoy. It's maybe the most important thing. It doesn't matter if you have 0 subscribers, 10, 100, 1,000, what do I have? 38,000, 100, a million. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. The subscriber count doesn't matter. The content matters. And what matters about the content is making content that you yourself would enjoy. Making the kind of content you want to watch. Making the content for you. You're going to be your number one critic. You're going to be your number one fan. You're going to be your number one everything. Everything you make should be for you because you have a passion to make it. Don't worry about viewer count. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about anything like that. Just worry about making the content you want to make. Now, once you get to that point that you know what kind of content you want to make, you have a passion for wanting to do it, and you want to do it for yourself and nobody else. I don't see you making videos like, oh man, I should make a video because, I have a subscriber base of 38,000 that expect a video today. No, I make the video because I really, really want to make it. Now, obviously, when you get to my level, you're starting to worry about revenue and stuff like that. But that's stuff that you don't need to worry about when you're starting out. You can worry about money down the road if you're lucky enough to get to that point. So the way that Love your content and hustle. Here's another 2. Thanks, Ace and Sunny Tech. So the way I look at it when you're getting started is just find that thing you're passionate about, and then make your content around that. Don't try to spread yourself too thin. Like, if you want to be a general gaming channel that talks about all video games, be that. But make sure you understand what you're undertaking. To do something like that is going to require a hell of a lot more time than, say, being a channel all about Mario games, being a channel all about the Last of Us series, being a channel all about Sony, Xbox, or Nintendo, or PC, or tech, or politics, or whatever. Like, when you take on the whole of gaming, you're taking on a lot of responsibility to cover everything really, really well. And chances are you don't have the time or the passion to pull that off. So that's not a direction I suggest people going. I suggest people just choose that one thing they're really passionate about that they're not always going to need outside inspiration to help them make content. And then when it comes to the initial equipment, all you need is, this is a bad example, by the way, because I doubt most of you are going to have this kind of phone, but you just need your cell phone. Not necessarily a, Note 9 and everything. This actually works really well with some of my equipment. But that's besides the point. You don't need this. But you need a cell phone is basically all you need to get started. You don't need a cell phone to get started, but it's a great starting point. Because one thing the cell phone is going to give you is decent enough quality. So even if you don't have an external mic, if you use an audio recording program and you just talk directly in your phone and you get yourself in a small room, a closet even or something, where you can kind of dampen the noise, with your clothes hanging up or whatever, you can record pretty high quality audio on your phone. For camera, your phone camera is actually really, really good. What I used to do in my early days, once I stopped using the crappy webcam on your laptop, do not use the webcam on laptops to get started, or like webcam mics. Do not do that. Do not do that. Please, for the sake of people watching and listening to your videos, don't do that. I went down that route. It's horrible. It's terrible. I wish I would have never done it. I wish I was using my cell phone back then. Use your cell phone. If you're going to be on camera and you don't have a separate camera, like I have a Lumix G7 over there, you don't have to have something like that to get started. Your phone will do just fine. Like this phone even shoots in 4K. I don't suggest starting out. You handle 4K footage, but yeah, you can do 1080p 60 right on your phone, and you can prop it up with books or anything. You don't even need a tripod. You can invest like $12 in a tripod for your phone if you want, but you don't need to do that. You can just do audio and video straight off your phone, and there are YouTubers to this day that still do this. To give you an example, if you guys know the BitBlock, right? He's a 73,000 subscriber channel. He still uses his cell phone for all of his footage when he's on camera. I know he does have a separate mic, but yeah, it gets the job done. You don't need to upgrade to the next level and overspend on equipment before you even get anywhere. Only buy new equipment as you can, 1, afford to invest it, and 2, as your channel grows to the point that maybe it's time to make that next step up. Maybe it's time to get a dedicated microphone. Maybe not like this, but maybe like a Snowball. It's like $50 at Best Buy, or a Blue Yeti that's $100. Stuff like that. So work with what you have. Don't overspend. And yeah, that's basically it to get started. Now, if you just want to do like voiceover gameplay, that's fine. You're going to need some additional stuff. You're going to need a capture card. And probably an external one's probably the cheapest way to go. I have an Elgato HD60, wherever it is. It's somewhere behind my monitors because it's hooked up with my Switch right now. If you just use something like that, you don't have to get the HD60. You can find a lot of used ones on eBay for under $50 easily. That'll help you get started to record gameplay if you wanted to use your voiceover gameplay. Just make sure if you're using Nintendo gameplay, you don't include cutscenes. And unfortunately, you're going to have to mute audio. The reason you have to mute audio is Nintendo copyright claims like all their gameplay clips. If you leave the audio in, and if you leave a cutscene in, they're guaranteed a copyright clip. If you want to use other people's gameplay, that's generally an okay practice because nobody owns gameplay. Nintendo will claim they copyright own it, but nobody owns it per se. So you can use gameplay from another YouTuber's channel. The big thing is you need to give credit. Do not take someone's footage and use it in your video, and 1, try to claim that as you are playing it, and 2, not credit either in the video or in the description where that came from and link to the original video or the original YouTube channel. That's just proper etiquette. They don't own the footage, but they are the ones that recorded it, so you should give them credit if for some reason you just can't afford a capture card. Voiceover gameplay is not an ideal way to do things, and I'm not saying that's the kind of video you want to do, but if that is, that's my suggestion for that. But obviously, you might be doing any kind of video. If you're an artist video, you know, get your phone lined up over your hand, while you're hand drawing, and practice trying to draw without blocking the camera and stuff like that. That's all skills you just have to practice and acquire for stuff like that. Jonathan Milligan says, I want to do YouTube, but you're on limited data, but hopefully moving next year. But I want to do a mixture of things, as I want to start an ant farm as a hobby and have that as side content. Yeah, so that's a really unique case there too, is right? You're talking about a hobby channel about ant farms. I can't give a lot of advice on obviously how you want to shoot those videos, but your phone will do great for that. Especially if you can get practice holding it steady. There are things you can buy that'll like steady your phone, but again, you don't need to invest in that if you don't, if you just don't want to right away. And the nice thing is there's actually free programs you can download on phones, both iPhones and Androids, that you can edit videos with that you recorded on your phone, literally right there on your phone. Is it as good as using a professional suite like, I use Premiere Pro as an example. Is it as good as that? No. Is it going to render as fast? No. Do you have to upload them from your phone? Probably. And if you have limited data, that sucks. You can connect to free Wi-Fi and upload as well, but it's still going to take a while. You can probably take the video, like on Android, you can take the video off your phone, put it on your computer, and then upload. But, I mean, that's just starting out. That's great. That'll work. You can shoot your ant farm stuff. You can put your audio overlay in after. You can use music. What's really great about music is YouTube offers free music to use. I'm not sure how many people know this, but there's an entire suite of music YouTube lets you use that is copyright free. So you don't have to credit it. You don't have to worry about your video getting copyright claimed by anybody. It's just free music. So that's a great way to, like, if you want music for the background of your videos. There's other places that'll do royalty-free music as well. Sometimes they require credit in the description, but YouTube already provides a ton of it, and it's a great starting point. You shouldn't have to worry about anything else. Martel the Cool says, I got a YouTube channel to 1,700 subscribers. How do I gain more? What were you doing? So one thing I didn't get into is no matter what you're doing, whatever it is, whether you're doing ant farm stuff, video game stuff, politics, whatever, religion, I don't even care. Whatever you're doing, you need to do it consistently. I'm not saying every day. I'm basically an everyday YouTuber. You don't need to do everyday content. The content I make requires me to make content every day because I cover a lot of news, and news is happening all the time, 24/7, 365. But doesn't have to be the case. I'll give you a prime example here. I got this up right here. Let me give you an example here of a YouTuber that does not upload daily and is huge. So you guys might have heard of this guy, She Says, in Boundary Break. All right? If you look at how often he uploads videos, it ain't every day. I mean, look at this. His last upload, 2 weeks ago, 422,000 views. 4 weeks ago, 249. A month ago, 465. Now, granted, a lot of this is because his channel's bigger, but this has been a consistent thing for him for a long time. And the thing is, he does something really unique. That unique thing takes him 4, 5, 6 days of work to do that unique thing. He hacks into video games and takes the camera and pans it out, or glitches it out in some cases, and like explores the whole of the game and every single level and all this stuff, and gets you all this behind the scenes things. It's highly unique. It's a lot of work. So even though he's not getting out a video, even every week at this point, he's getting out a video that is so high in quality, so high in content, so high in uniqueness that the weight ends up working. And the YouTube algorithm doesn't hate him for doing that because he's consistent about it. On this day, every week or every other week, this kind of video is going to come out. YouTube knows it, the algorithm knows it, his fan base knows it, and it just keeps building from there. So it doesn't need to be daily. That's a misnomer about YouTube, is that you need to be on that grind. You need to be on that daily grind. You do not need to be on that daily grind. It's highly dependent on the kind of content you're creating. What you do need to do is dedicate yourself to a consistent release schedule, whatever it is. Once a month, once a week, once every other week, twice a week, 3 times, 5 days a week, whatever it is, you need to dedicate to a consistent release schedule. YouTube does not like inconsistent channels. So, as an example, because I'm a daily channel, if I don't upload for 2 or 3 days straight, it kills my channel, right? But if I wasn't a daily channel, if I was just a weekly channel, like she says, and I put up that 1 video a week, my channel is not dead because I only put up the 1 video a week, right? Because the algorithm knows, oh, this is the channel that only puts up 1 a week at this particular time on this particular day. And it just knows that. So that's something to keep in mind. A lot of how often you should make content comes down to the content you're making and your available free time. Now remember, a big thing when you're starting on YouTube is don't start out with aspirations to even be like me. Like, don't start off with aspirations to make money. Don't start off with aspirations to make it a career, unless you're already working in a videography career somewhere else. And I say this because it's hard to make it on YouTube. Not everyone's going to make it. And that's why I say what's most important is you're making content for yourself. Because no matter how many subscribers or how many viewers you ultimately get, if you're making content for yourself, it's something you can always be proud of. But it is important that whatever free time you do dedicate to making it, because you should have a job or school or whatever else going on instead when you start out anyways, it should be put at making sure, hey, I might not have all the free time in the world, but I'm going to make sure on this day or this couple days or this 3 days a week, I'm getting content out. And I'm getting content out that I want to make, that I'm passionate about. So that's kind of the way I always suggest starting out. There are people that start out trying to make it to the point where they can make money. Like even just in this live stream, we had what, $9 in super chats. Like there are people that dream of getting $9 a month on YouTube. And it's like, don't go in expecting that. If you get there, that's great. And I want to help you through these tips and trick videos to maybe get to that point, but it's going to take time. I didn't get here overnight. It took a long time. I mean, I spent 2 years to get here, and 2 years is even a really short period. A lot of people, like Player Essence, been at this 6-7 years, and it took him to get to where he is. So, like, it's not like this instant overnight success. Biggest thing I can preach is patience. Enjoy what you do it consistently, and have patience. Because nothing just snaps your fingers and grows overnight. Let me get to some other people are saying before I move on here. BitBlock's channel is dead. His channel's not dead. What it is he's got one particular type of content that performs really, really well. The make-believe series. Everything else in between is just filler content, to be honest, at this point, based on what I see on his channel. The main coup de grace, the reason to visit his channel, is the one particular type of content. Now, it used to be a lot bigger. He's had a lot of controversies over the years that really, killed the growth of his channel. But that's I'm not here to analyze his channel. So I'll just leave that be and let him be. How do I get to copy other people to get to IGN? I'm not here to teach anyone to be the next Philip Mewson, so I'm sorry if you're here to learn how to copyright and infringe on people to get popular. Jonathan Milligan says it's more converting fish tanks into natural-looking areas for the ants to run around in. Nice. So there you go. So I could just have a phone at a good angle and record yourself putting. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. I mean, the angle is going to be key. That's the hardest thing about recording with your phone, is unless you're using the face cam on the front, you can't see what the angle is. You got to set it up ahead of time. And I've had that issue all the way until I got the Lumix G7. You can use mirrors as well to kind of give yourself an idea, but there's actually accessories you can buy for your phone that'll let you see too. But that's all stuff that you're starting to invest in your channel once you found your shtick, I should say. For you, what's the most difficult aspect of being on YouTube, says Paradoxer. The most difficult aspect. Man. Right now, the most difficult aspect's probably balancing the work-life balance, because the big thing about being a YouTuber, especially when you're at my level and you're doing it as a job, is you work out of your house, right? Like, this studio is in my house. So balancing time with my kids, time with my fiance, time for work, that's probably the hardest thing while being a YouTuber, because I work from home. And it can be pretty sporadic. Like, I know during nap time 5 days a week, I need to try to get a Prime News out. It just needs to happen. If I don't pull it off during nap time, or if Ollie decides not to nap, I can't do it. You know, Yulia's work schedule, my fiance's work schedule could change, and this and that, and then she might not be able to watch the kids when I think she can, so I can get certain work done. That's more so for me. Like, that's a time management, juggling. What nights am I going to work? What nights am I going to take off? Like, I wasn't going to do this stream tonight. Then I'm like, you know what? I got nothing better to do. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I have better stuff I could be doing, but I decided that this stuff's all swirling in my head, so why not just do this little workshop quick? So that's probably the hardest at my stage. But starting out, the hardest thing is obviously motivation. And that's where you need to find what you're passionate about. For a long time, I was making content just to make content. Never do that. Never make a video just to make a video. Make videos you care about. Make content you care about. I've had a number of people lately, it's funny, lately tell me, oh, they don't want me doing Prime News anymore. They want me going back to doing individual voiceover gameplay videos. I don't like those kind of videos. I like Prime News. I enjoy making Prime News. Prime News is the kind of show I want to watch. So that's why I make it. I don't care if Spawnwave or somebody else does a similar show. Let them. I'm literally a Nintendo channel. I'm here to cover just Nintendo. And I don't know of a single Nintendo-only channel that does a Prime News kind of segment. It just doesn't happen. Spawnwave's not a Nintendo-only channel, so it's not going to have the same stuff in it. So I just look at it as doing the content you love is most important, and finding a consistent way to do it, whatever that is. For me, it's balancing my time with my kids and my fiance. For you guys, it might be balancing school and free time and time with friends and family. So there's always a fine balance in there. MacMan, what caused you to start your channel? It's one of my favorite channels on YouTube now. So it's weird. So the channel originally, this particular channel started way long ago. It's just a place when I was working as Zelda Informer where we would put up video content to host on the website. Today, why I'm a YouTuber, it really wasn't planned. As I found out that I was going to be let go at Zelda Informer, and then it was eventually going to close its doors, I wanted to do something similar to what I've been doing, but do it on the side, right? Like, or not do it on the side, but like do it for me, create something for me. Because this whole time, for years, I was under the impression I co-owned Zelda Informer. In fact, I'm pretty sure somewhere in a chat somewhere mentions that I co-own Zelda Informer. Well, whatever, it got sold. I got none of that money, so obviously I didn't co-own it, and it's a whole kerfuckle. So I just decided that this time around, this is on me. I'm creating something that I wholly own. So I started out making a website, NintendoPrime.net, making oodles and oodles of news and stuff like this. And then I had the YouTube channel where I was basically hosting the Nintendo Prime podcast. And in editing the Nintendo Prime podcast, I realized that I kind of like making videos. And I didn't know that. Like, I realized this like a year and a half ago. I had no idea until a year and a half ago, or really 2 years ago, probably two years ago, that I really enjoy making videos. So then I'm like, what happens if I make videos besides just the podcast? What if I take some of the news I'm doing on the website and do it on YouTube? So I started doing that, right? Started reporting on some news and I found I kind of like making these. Yeah, a lot of voiceover gameplay to start, but I kind of like this. The podcast, this video stuff, I'm having fun. And then all of a sudden, I started picking up steam. And by the end of last year, I started making money. And I'm like, wait a second. I'm making way more money doing these videos I like than grinding out news on a website. I should just make videos. So then I just dedicated myself to making videos instead of focusing on putting news up on a website. Because I didn't really enjoy, well, I enjoyed aspects of putting news on a website. But a lot of it was just a grind. Grind. Find a way to get 20 posts out a day, even if you're posting about the most irrelevant crap. Whereas I'm not trying to get 20 videos out a day. So I just found myself really enjoying making video content. And then obviously you've seen my channel progress and change and evolve over the past couple of years to where it is today, where I feel like we're starting to finally hit a true flow here. Prime News is becoming consistent. Now we got the op-ed editorials. This upcoming week from Monday through Friday, I'm going to start getting discussion videos out regularly. And things are really starting to get into its own kind of flow. And it's awesome. But it took a lot to get to where I am now. See some other people said here. How's my son doing? He's fine. I don't know why he wouldn't be fine. Let me see here. I'm just glancing. Can't work through your mental health. That's why you want to do something as a hobby. Cool. What I can say, this is another thing, like if you're making videos and you happen to start get some viewership, you got to have a thick skin. You're going to get people who hate you. You're going to get people who love you. So I don't always do the best job ignoring the haters, but you gotta be able to handle some criticism, or just some straight up people calling you names. I think every day someone calls me fat. It's a fact. I am fat, but saying that comment isn't actually productive to anything. It's not going to suddenly make me thin. Oh, you call me fat. You're not going to fat shame me into getting thin. Like, it doesn't work on me. If fat shaming worked, trust me, I have fat shamed myself enough. Like, fat shamed myself enough over the years. But, hey, what happened? Oh, hey, we got 10 bits over on Twitch. Yeah, glance at Twitch chat quick. Eric said that he doesn't co-own Nintendo Prime. No, he doesn't. Eric has 0 ownership of Nintendo Prime. He is just a volunteer. No ownership. And that's the way I want it. This is my company. Even though he's my best friend in the whole world. And I wouldn't mind hiring him someday. Heck, he can even come on as CTO one day when I can afford it. But for now, no. He doesn't have any ownership. Whew. Get a little. By the way, I know it sounds like I'm sick. I blew out my voice at the Brewers playoff game on Thursday, so I'm not actually sick. Just my voice isn't fully back. Let's see here. TBRJ Gaming says, "Can I look up your channel?" Look, before I do any individual channel looks, I want to get through my whole spiel on my tips and tricks. Animation is so hard to grow with. I do upload every other Saturday though, so I have like the fastest and most consistent upload schedule among animators. I mean that's number one. As I said, I haven't gone beyond this, like how to grow your channel, but that's like one of the basic tips is being consistent. I'm really glad you're being consistent with your uploads. I'm really sorry you get called the R word, man. But I'm glad that you have a thick skin. I mean, everything on YouTube is tough competition, by the way. Any unique idea you probably have has probably been done by somebody somewhere. It just kind of happens. All right, so let me get into the next tips and tricks I have. So we talked about why you should start a YouTube channel, equipment, types of content, uniqueness and passion, and creating content for you. Next up, then, is just handling your videos once you make them. So I'm not here to teach you how to edit. Premiere Pro, whatever's on your phone for free. There's Movie Maker, there's iMovie, there's a zillion programs out there for editing videos. You just gotta find one you're comfortable with. And I'm not gonna be here to teach you how to edit videos because that's not what this is about. You're gonna have to go watch all the tutorials in the world you want to learn how to edit videos. What's important after that is figuring out what do I want my tags to be, what do I want my my title to be, thumbnails, all that kind of stuff, because that's the stuff that's going to get you discovered, right? You have this unique content, but how people are going to find you in searches or find you in related videos is going to be based on your thumbnail, your titles, and your tags. So let me just go to my channel here. And let's just go to YouTube Studio here. I'm using the beta version. Chances are you are going to, I'm going to use the version you guys use. Chances are you're going to be using this version when it pops up here. All right, so when you go to make a video, you hit upload. In fact, here, let me just, actually, I don't want to upload it. I don't want to ruin the stream. So when you upload the video, as you're uploading, you're going to see a bunch of options. Now, what you're going to notice is I have an add-on. I have a few add-ons. So this is what it looks like here. This is not what it's going to look like for you per se. You see how I have this optimize tab? That's not part of YouTube. This is what you're going to see. Except you're not going to see this stuff either. So what this all is here, the templates, keyword, inspector, translate, this is actually vidIQ. This is a great add-on. Not the greatest. I like this better. This is Vizio Catalyst, but I get this from a multi-channel network. And we'll talk about that in a bit. So a great alternative to something like this to help you with tags and titles at least is completely free. And it's called TubeBuddy. I used to use TubeBuddy. Completely free to install in Chrome. And it gives you all these different features. It helps you with templates. It helps you put emojis in your thing if you want. Helps you with title. Helps you with keywords. It's a great tool. Awesome for starting out because it's 100% free. And the tools I use, vidIQ and Vizio Catalyst, are not. So these are excellent getting started tools. And then there's people that use TubeBuddy that have millions of subs. So this will help you get all the stuff you need. So like when I go to title, you know, you got like, here's the thing. The one I use, Vizio Catalyst, doesn't help with titles. But what it does tell me is that there's a 100-character limit in titles. YouTube does not tell you. Oh, maybe YouTube does not tell you. It used to not tell you. When I started out, YouTube didn't tell you the character limit. So you have 100 characters. The big thing with titles is you don't need to worry about making something clickbaity, but you need to make something that's attention-grabbing. Whatever you're, like as an example, in here, I'm talking about what I want in a Switch for next year, like a revised Switch. So a very easy title is, what do I want from a revised Switch in 2019? But then in the thumbnail, right, there's me holding my Switch with the word Switch Pro. Very descriptive, very easy to understand. What you do down in the description is up to you. You should always have at least a sentence or two describing your video. That just helps with search engine optimization. And then your tags are just whatever's related, right? So TubeBuddy works similar to this, so I'll show you. You got your title, you made your description, then you go into the tag template. It'll do this. It'll recommend you different tags to put in. Then like literally you just hit one button. See, boom, now Switch News was added to my tags. And that's how it works with TubeBuddy as well. So that'll help you get started with tags if you aren't sure where to start. There's a zillion other ways you can do tag research, but for beginners, downloading TubeBuddy and having that help you, because it'll look for similar videos based on your title and your description, and then it'll suggest to you tags that are popular and are having in circulation. So that's really, there's a whole lot of other things that can go into thumbnails. What's a good thumbnail? What's a bad thumbnail? You know, what type of text you should use in your thumbnail. Should you use text in your thumbnails? The answer isn't always yes. What kind of templates? There's free templates out there. If you go to like if I go free YouTube, oops, if I can spell right, thumbnail templates. Now I use Photoshop, but there's other programs you could use. So like let's see here. There's even places where you can like literally make your thumbnails, create your own YouTube thumbnail. And this looks like this is it's from Adobe. Cool. They have like a dedicated thumbnail maker. That's interesting. But just like I think I've used these guys before. Snappa. So they can go like templates. And look at that. Like here's a whole bunch of templates you could use, you know, in your videos to kind of get started with thumbnails. And there's a zillion of these. You know, here's some free ones. You know, I've used this website before too. See if I can find the one that, yeah, like this one. I used to use this one for podcasts. This exact thumbnail. There's a whole bunch of, and like all these thumbnails include things like you can change out the image, you can change the text, all that stuff. So that's a great way to start out. My thumbnail I made now is completely homemade, but that's not the way I started out on YouTube. Is TubeBuddy better than Bubble Buddy? I haven't heard of Bubble Buddy. Are you trying to say a joke? Let me see here. So that's kind of a rundown for that. There really is, like, the thing is your titles and your tags and your description are going to evolve as your content evolves. Like, I mean, I can give you examples on my channel. Let me just go to my channel quick. All right, get this loaded up. Like, if you go to my videos, man, and you just sort by date added oldest, like, you're gonna see, I mean, these are not good thumbnails at all. I mean, these are a little bit better. Zelda and former days, like, these are just literally screenshots that were uploaded by YouTube. That's not good. But you'll notice some evolution here. Look, there's there's my earliest video with me on camera. God, it's terrible. Anyways, again, see, no pattern in my thumbnails, nothing. Scroll down to when things changed over from Zelda Informer to Nintendo Prime. Seriously, such terrible thumbnail use. Terrible Look at that sexy beast. Terrible thumbnail use. Okay, this is a walkthrough. Man. Hey, I still have that Wisconsin Badger shirt. Another walkthrough. Hey, I still have that Zelda shirt. Still have that Zelda shirt. Lots of Zelda stuff. Alright. The Boss Man. This is the first time I had like an actual attempt at a thumbnail. This, actually, the Boss Man series is a preliminary to my discussion videos at Nintendo Prime. If you guys are actually curious where my discussion videos started, they started as a series called The Boss Man. I bet you Yulia, my fiance, remembers when I used to record those in our living room using the TV with an image on it. Use what you got. Okay, cool. And then you can see some evolution. This was a podcast. Not very good. Terrible. This one's a little better. This was actually a template made by a friend for Zelda Inquiries. Another template made for Zelda Inquiries. New thumbnail for Boss Man. And you can just kind of see how my thumbnails progressed over time. This is a free template that I started using for the Zelda Informer podcast. And it just keeps evolving. See, the template I started using bigger text because I realized that looked cleaner. There's that one template I was talking about, Zelda Informer Reacts. And then, boom, here's the Nintendo Prime stuff. See, very first video I ever did for Nintendo Prime on here, terrible thumbnail. Terrible thumbnail for this, too. But then there's the OG podcast thumbnail on our channel. I can see my old Nintendo Prime plays. My thumbnails then are basically an outline in one color and then fun text. But see, this evolves over time later. You can see I was still using this for impressions. Still using really crappy, still image thumbnails. Even though this says 56K, that's more so a title thing. But then things start to evolve here eventually. Let's see here. I used this for a little while before I started teaching myself more about thumbnails. So then this is the start of my let's put text, giant white text in the middle of everything days. And this stuff works too for beginners. For me, this would still look kind of unprofessional today to still put giant white text, especially since I didn't really darken the image behind it. So the text doesn't always stand out very well. Like on here, it looks like crap. Here, it looks a little better. But you can see like just the evolution of thumbnails. Let's scroll down to when I used this for so long. This white text over an image. Gosh. For a long time. I'm sure some of you guys might remember those days. This is me starting to put myself in thumbnails. This is when I actually learned from PewDiePie how to put yourself in a thumbnail. The tool to use in Photoshop to select yourself out of any image. To how to crop yourself out of any image. And I like doing that, and you see that on my Prime News videos. But for anyone who says, oh man, it looks like a spawn wave, or oh man, this and that, I'm like, dude, here I am. I was doing this a year ago. I got another 10 bits. What do you say there? Bubble Buddies from SpongeBob. Oh, you missed the white text on everything. Yeah, and this is the thing. People like their different things. Like, this looks really cool. And you can see I started with the whole red thing up top. Do we know where I was starting to emphasize my logo and branding to get people to recognize this is the Nintendo Prime logo. And then you start seeing for, about the past year, me starting to use the current logo I have now. See, I changed up that for the podcast, realized that didn't make it stand out enough, so that's why I use a different podcast thumbnail now. But you'll notice that's when I started doing this stuff, and I haven't changed a whole lot since then. It's probably time for me to evolve my thumbnails again, because now I've been using the same style for like a year, so it's probably time to rethink it a bit. Because it's good to keep it fresh, right? Keep it fresh, keep it real, and change the way things are. So yeah, then that's basically just been my general style for thumbnails ever since. It's a little different with the podcast now. You'll notice what I do is as I want different looking thumbnails for different types of content. So you have Prime News, which now has me in every photo, and myself is always the top image. So that means it's ahead of everything in the background. And then you have the podcast now, which was a standalone image, podcast logo, and then one character or one set of words or something to help signify what's in this podcast. The Nintendo discussion is still just usually white text over an image. Prime comments I haven't made in a little while, but again, more of a white text over an image. As I said, I actually need to play around with thumbnails. I'm not the greatest with them, but I try. What's up, Two Holmes? How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. All right. Next question. I get asked this an awful lot. Should I join an MCN? So you got your YouTube channel going. You got your first 100 subscribers. You got consistent upload schedule. You're loving what you do. You're enjoying that people are tuning in at all. And you decide that you've heard of these things called multi-channel networks. Should I join one? Or maybe someone's approached you from one. The answer to that's twofold. What you have to remember is that a multi-channel network's entire goal is to make money off of you. The work you make makes them money. That's their entire goal, is to make money. So I'm part of the BBTV MCN network. I'm not going to speak ill of them, but they take a large chunk of the money I make every month. I'm not going to give exact percentages, but they take a chunk of the money I make every month. And this is after YouTube, Google takes their cut of money, which of course they do. It's their platform. I'm not mad at Google for taking money. Like, they should take money. But the MCN takes money after that. And in return, they give me, tools like this, like the Optimize tab, to let me do this stuff with a better service than YouTube Buddy. They also give me things like, access to, I don't use it a lot. This. Epidemic Sound, which again is music I can use in my videos, and sound effects I can use in my videos that aren't like these default ones you can get from YouTube. But I think the biggest benefit I ever got from my NCN are training courses. Believe it or not, the most valuable thing that's ever happened to me with an MCN is training sessions. If you can find an MCN when you're just starting out, not worried about money, that will lock you in for like a year contract or whatever, but in return will give you one-on-one training, absolutely do it for that first year. It is a pain to get out of an MCN, but you're not going to be making money in your YouTube videos until you hit like 10,000 subscribers anyways. So you don't need to worry about that starting out. If you can get an MCN that'll do one-on-one training with professionals, yes, do it for that first year. Just remember to abide by how to cancel and get out of it a year later before you start making money. Because their goal is to get you to make money so they can make money off of you. But use that, because I still use that. I have on October 9th, on Tuesday, at 10 a.m., I have what's called a channel audit coming up by my MCN. What they are doing is they are going to like peel through my channel with me over Skype and go over the things I'm doing well, the things I'm not doing well, the things I can improve on, kind of things that I'm doing now for you guys, but I'm not a channel that's starting out anymore. So this is me, this is helping take my channel to the next level because me doing better ultimately makes them make more money and makes me make more money. So they're at a point now where they want to help me grow because it's good for business. And I suggest if you're just starting out, it makes a lot of sense to do that and use these tools and help you learn how to tag things and title things. After that first year, they'll get out. MCNs on the whole, they're not worth it unless you are a massive channel. Like if you're 1 million+ subs, sure, use an MCN then because they help with taxes and they make things easier. But don't worry about it. All you're going to do is you're going to get mad. You're going to be like, I made my first $10 on my channel, and then you're going to get mad when YouTube takes 3 of it, and then your MCN takes another 2. And you only got $5 out of that 10. You're going to hate that. And this is just hypothetical, by the way. It's not exact percentages. But yeah, it's not something that's worth it. What you get back in return is usually not worth it. Now, me, I obviously am in an MCN making money. I tried to get out of my MCN, but I submitted my paperwork to get out of it too late. That's my bad. So now I'm stuck in there for another year. Well, another 10 months or something. But anyways, I'll be out of it next August. But until then, I'm going to take advantage of their channel audits and other things they help provide that help me get a greater understanding of how YouTube's working today, how the algorithm works today, how I can target my videos to other people that make similar content so they can see it in the sidebar and stuff like that. Let's see here. What do tags do? So tags are like, you know what hashtags are, right? On like Twitter, Facebook, wherever. So what tags do is categorize your video. So let me give you an example here. Oh, another tool, by the way, Social Blade. There's a free add-on to install for Social Blade. Social Blade is great. It gives you analytics on every other channel and your channel. So Player Essence inspired me to do this today. So let's go look at Player Essence. Click on here. See, he did that YouTube workshop today. And let's just click on his Dragon Quest video today. Good views on that. Good for him. So you'll see that he has 22,000 views today, 59 subs. But here's the tags he used. So Dragon Quest 11, that's the tag he used. Kingdom Hearts 3, Octopath Traveler, JRPG, Paladins, Koga, Paladins, Gyro Control, Super Mario Party, blah, blah, blah. These are the tags he used in the video. So what these tags will help you do when you put them in there is when I search, let's pick out one of these more unique tags. Let's go with, let's see what Gyro Controls brings up. See if I can find his video under Gyro Controls. So they help with search engines for starters. Like I typed in Gyro Controls, and let's see if he pops up. What was the name of the video? Dragon Quest 11 sales. Not showing up on page 1, which is okay. There's going to be a bunch of people that are using that tag. But you want to rank well in the tags, because that's how well you rank in the searches. So maybe I'll find if I like Dragon Quest 11. Because he also has that in his title. Let's see here. Nope. Wait, maybe. Nope. Well, anyways, you get my point. It helps with search engines. It also helps get you in the sidebar. So you see these videos down here, right? These suggested videos are not just based on your title, they're based on the tags. So as an example, he had Super Mario Party tagged. I think, does he have it in the title? He also has it in the title. So down here, I guarantee you that Super Mario Party from the BitBlock, not only is it in the title, I bet you he has it tagged Super Mario Party. And there it is, Super Mario Party. So tags help link your videos up, make it easier to find in searches, and link your videos up with other people's videos. Does that make sense? I hope that explains how tags work. They're not essential, by the way. Tags are probably the least essential thing of all the things, but they're so easy to do, especially if you have TubeBuddy or whatever, that you should just do them. They're not quintessential, but they help. They don't hurt you, I should say. Nate, you say you try, do or do not. There is no try. Just do. I know you didn't say just do, but that's what the quote is. Miles Pierce says, I made over $1,000 on YouTube, all from snowmobile videos. Wish I stuck with it. Haven't filmed for years. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Consistency. Consistency is key. It really is. Stopping and starting and being random and throwing a video up here and then not appearing for 3 weeks and throwing a random video up again, that's not going to work. Don't do that. Note 9 tech support in the house. What's up, Amade? All right. I went over MCNs. Really, really nice to start. Then you should probably dip out as soon as you can. The other thing is making time, right? So YouTube's time consuming. You need to make time to make videos. No matter how busy your life is, children, jobs, college, if you are truly passionate about creating videos, you cannot come up with self-made excuses to not make videos. Now, I'm not saying you need to go on a daily grind like I do, but if you're doing like that one video a week, you need to ensure you get that one video a week out. And if you don't, then you're not serious about growing your YouTube channel. If you are serious about growing your channel, you need to be serious about the time you put into your channel. You need to grind it out, okay? Even if that grind is 1 day a week, you need to grind it out. You need to get it done. And not saying make a video to make a video. I'm saying make time to make the video you want to make. Period. Don't make an excuse. I don't care if you have kids and you have two other jobs, a full-time and a part-time. I don't care if you have a wife. I don't care if you have family events that week. You need to make time to get that piece of content out. Period. Get really damn good with your time management to pull that off. That doesn't mean you can't ever take breaks, but you really can't. Not when you're starting out. You could take breaks later. Like me, I could take a day off. I could take a single day off and my channel will be okay. But I can't take 2 or 3 or 4. But I could take 1. As once you get that once a week per schedule, you get momentum and you get growth. You can afford to take that 1 week off, maybe. But only after you get the growth and momentum. So, let me see here. Jonathan Milligan says, what about people who are, say, characters, like Nostalgia Critic / AVGN? I mean, personally, I'd rather be myself than a character, but it might be easier on others. That's about entertainment. I think what needs to be remembered is no matter what you make on YouTube, whether it's educational, whether it's informational, whether it's opinions, whether it's theories, discussions, how-tos, or whatever, all of it is just entertainment. Well, how-to guides can be talked about as being more than that. People still are generally entertained by the actual guide. So no matter what you do on YouTube, you're vying for people's time and you're vying for their spare entertainment time, whether it's on a break at work, whether it's on a commute, whether it's at home, whatever it happens to be. So what you have to remember is some people that create characters are doing it because, one, they like the idea of making a character, right? They like acting. Let me put it this way. You can't create a character and be successful at it if you don't like acting on some level, right? You need to like creating characters. Then coming up with your own unique way to handle those characters and everything. You know, AVGN, Nostalgia Critic, great characters. The people behind them are great people too. But it's just, I'm not going to say it's easier, but it's easier for them because that's a skill set they have. Again, when you're making videos, make the videos you care about and are passionate about, no matter what that skill set to make that video happens to be. For someone like, AVGN, it's literally the angry video game nerd. Like, that's a character he's passionate about and loves. So he makes a lot, like James Rolfe makes a lot of videos like that. He makes other videos he cares about too that aren't angry video game nerd, but he enjoys that persona. He enjoys throwing on that I'm going to yell and scream at the camera about how frustrated I am with this terrible video game. He likes that. It's both kind of a play on the general opinion of what nerd raging gamers are like, and also a harsh dose of reality about a pseudo review of how hard this game really is or how bad this game really is. So I don't want to say that making characters is easier, or is it better to create a character or is it better to be yourself? It's going to be completely dependent on what you're doing. The only thing I can say is no matter what you do, whether it's with a character or whether it's just you being you, be honest. Do it in the most honest way you can. Don't be deceptive. If you're going to go all in on a character like Angry Video Game Nerd, go all in. But then don't take that character you make and try to make it into something it's not. Be sure about what that character is. Be sure of yourself. If you're just being yourself, biggest thing that people compliment me on my channel is that I seem genuine. They don't know me. None of them have met me. Well, most of them haven't met me. Neil Willis met me. But most people who watch my channel haven't met me. But they get the impression from my videos, from my live streams, from everything, that I'm a genuine person. And that's a huge compliment. And that's because, at least I view it as a huge compliment, because I try to stay true to myself at this channel. And I feel like that's the best advice I can give anyone when whether it's a character or not, is stay true to whatever it is. If it's a certain character type, stay true to that character type. If it's just you, stay true to yourself. Don't ever try to do something that isn't you, if that makes sense. Don't fool yourself into being something you're not. I'll give you an example. Jake Paul is a character. I'm just going to come right out and say it. What you see in Jake Paul's videos is not actually Jake Paul. It's an act. All of it's an act. All of it's fake. I know. Newsflash. But that's a character he wants to put on and he enjoys doing. So he does it. Let's see here. Another thing I get asked about a lot is streaming. So streaming is an interesting avenue because it's a live portion of video creating, and from whether it's game streaming or streams like this or Q&As or just chatting with people, obviously the idea is that streaming doesn't work if you don't have an audience, right? So I never suggest, especially on YouTube, trying to become a YouTube streamer. It's very difficult. Twitch is a better platform for that for a multitude of reasons. But if you are going to be a streamer on this platform, the biggest thing is that you can't spread yourself too thin. What do I mean by that? Don't try to do several things at once. It's not going to work. You might see me stream Fortnite, then Odyssey, then Madden randomly one night. But I can do that because streaming is not what makes my channel what it is. I don't gain subscribers from live streams. My channel growth is from standalone videos. I am not a live streamer. Live streamers are an aside. They're a bonus. They're an in addition to what I already do, right? So I'm not what I would consider to be a live streamer. I'm a YouTuber that happens to also live stream. If you are going to be a streamer like 5J Gaming, the biggest thing about being a streamer like 5J Gaming and what's actually hurting his growth is he does too much. Not too many streams, too much variance in his streams. Mega Man 11 to Sea of Thieves to Spider-Man to Smash Bros to this to that. And the problem is when you're trying to reach such a broad audience is one stream you'll have 15 viewers, the next stream you'll have 2, and then another stream you'll have 30, and then another stream you'll have 5. Because what you're doing is a vast majority of the live streams you're doing aren't hitting on huge chunks of the people that tuned into your video the first time. So spreading too thin is never good starting out. You want to pick a category with streaming, especially with games, and just kind of stick in that category. You want to be a MOBA streamer? Stream MOBA games. Pick one that you like more than the other. Occasionally dabble in other ones. I know it can get boring. I get it. It can be boring, but maybe it's not boring for you. That's why I can't just sit there and stream one game all the time. I would get bored. But for someone else, it might not be boring. So that's kind of my thing with streaming is you kind of got to pick one avenue. I'll bring this up because just because Player Essence mentioned it. Ninja, he's a Fortnite streamer. He plays Fortnite. He pretty much only plays Fortnite. That wasn't what he always was. What gets lost in the phrase, Ninja is a unique case because he was a professional competitive gamer who took his clout in professional gaming and took it to the live stream realm and only became the Fortnite guy after he had that live stream with Drake. But he got to that live stream with Drake through all of his other successes. He's a very unique case. Ninja is not the way to build an audience. I can tell you that right now. That was a very, very lucky, just like PewDiePie. Not the way to build an audience. Just got very, very lucky. not going to work for 99% of people. So pick a game or a series of games and make that what your streams are about. Same with your videos. If you're doing video games, pick a company, a series, whatever, and make that what your videos are about. You're going to find a hell of a lot more success. I guarantee 5J Gaming would grow faster if he would just pick one type of game, RPGs, adventure games, platformers, whatever, indies, and he would just stream those. The difference is, and this is where it clashes with, there's what you should do to grow, and then there's what you want to do. 5J wants to stream everything. And you know what? He's good with that. He would like to do streaming for a living one day, but he's good with what it is now. He likes the career he has, so maybe he's okay with the way things are. But if you want to truly grow, you got to kind of find that niche, the game that you're into, that maybe no one else is even playing a lot of. Be the person that discovers the next great popular game. Let's see here. So is Jake Paul not actually a buffoon in real life? I can't speak to whether he's a buffoon or not. There's just been a lot of, what is it? The paparazzi videos showing him when the camera turns off, when he's not recording, acting completely different than he acts when the camera's on. So he definitely is putting on a show and acting, which isn't a surprise. I mean, heck, he was on the Disney Channel for crying out loud. Of course he acts. So is he not a buffoon? I don't know. I don't know him personally. But he's not nearly the person he presents in those videos. All of that is all staged. All of that is all pretend. Let's see here. If I were to ever stream games, it would have to be glitchy games. Those are and that could be your thing. You stream games that most people consider broken. That can be a thing. And you have to do it consistently. And it's going to take a while to find an audience. Another way to help with an audience as well is reach out to other YouTubers. Believe it or not, the YouTube community is very friendly in general. I mean, I'm trying to even remember, how did I meet OJ? Did I reach out to him or he reach out to me? I don't know. But like watching other people's content, being in their live streams, being active, tweeting at them, trying to get a collaboration going, whether it's a podcast or something else, a discussion video, all of that is great. And there's a lot of people that will do that. I mean, I've collaborated with channels as small as 1,000 subs before. And like collaborating is a great way to get your name out there in front of a new audience. It's great. I mean, heck, Bob Wolf, Wolf Den, they just hit 200,000 subs like today. He's been on my podcast before. Like, network and don't be afraid to collaborate, because so many YouTubers are just, yeah, sure, let's work together. Let's do something together. It really helps. Like 5J, a lot of his following is because he does stuff on my channel. Why does he do stuff on my channel? I made a post at one point looking for help with live streams, and he reached out to me. He reached out and said, hey, man, I'm a live streamer. What can we do? And we sorted it out, and he and his channel have benefited from that. So developing those relationships and working with people, being in a community is huge on YouTube. Huge to help get you going, help get your content discovered. How long should a news video be if you're covering 3 topics? There's not really a time. Like, I know there's that infamous hit 10 minutes on YouTube. It's more about watch time than it is about the length. So you want to get people to tune in for like 4+ minutes of a video, right? That's at least what I average. The thing is, when you're covering 3 topics, it all depends on what's your angle. I feel like you have to remember attention spans. People are more likely to listen to 5 to 10 minute segments than they are to listen to 30 minutes to an hour, right? Unless it's like a podcast, they just turn on when they're working out or when they're on the road driving or something. So I should just I should just give life advice. I don't know if I'm the best person for life advice. So how long should it be? I mean, as long as it takes to deliver the news, and then if you have something else you want to add. Making sure, I'm bad about this, but making sure you're not repetitive in what you say. Being short, being concise, being to the point. Things I'm all terrible at. that you can probably be a lot better at than me. So as an example, if I was doing a video that had 3 topics in it, it would probably be about 3 minutes per topic, so about 9 minutes. But it might be more than that because I might say too much. You know, it's a fine balancing act, but you want to try to even it out so you're spending the same amount of time on each topic. If you want to spend an extra amount of time on one topic, that should probably be its own video. Isn't the limit for most YouTube videos 10 to 15 minutes when you're just starting out? Can't remember. I don't think that's a thing anymore. I actually don't think that's a thing anymore. It used to be. It used to be limited to 10 until you had like 10,000 subs. Then you can go to 15, and then you were limited by that till you got to 20. But I think they got rid of those limits now. Now you can just upload hours long with like 0 subs. Your videos were roughly 10 to 13. See, and for 3 topics, to me that feels a little bit much. I say that. I have like one topic that'll go for 16, 17 minutes. Again, I don't know that I'm the greatest example, but I would expect if I'm going to a video that has a bunch of topics that you would try to get it to 10 minutes and under, right? When it's got like 3 topics. My Prime News videos are too long. And I put 5 topics in every video, and they're hitting 14, 15, 16 minutes long. Too long. I know they're too long. I know I need to shorten it. I need to become less of a talker, but I talk a lot. It's part of what makes me good at what I do. It's also part of what makes what I do so difficult, trying to figure out what should I cut out. Because you might see like a 15-minute Prime News. What you don't see is the 30 minutes of crap that I recorded that I cut a bunch of stuff out of. It's just the way it is. I can't help it. I talk too much. I know I talk too much. My friends say I talk too much. Everyone says I talk too much. Well, my kids don't say it yet. They will when they get older. They're like, Dad, you're so annoying. Stop talking. And I think that's really all I get for just getting started tips. Otherwise, it's just what questions do you guys have? What advice can I give? That's a lot of information to digest over the past hour and 10 minutes. I don't want to overload people or scare people away. YouTube's a lot of work. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of work, especially the kind of YouTuber I am, with daily content, live streams, standalone videos, multiple a day. It's a lot of work. Got to be ready to put in the work. You'd love to see me collaborate with Spawnwave. I think a lot of people would like to see me on Spawncast sometime. The hard thing about Spawncast is it's on Saturdays. So like me being able to know I can be there at, I think it's 8 p.m. Central to 10, and knowing I can do that ahead of time, take some planning. I'm sure if I contacted him and asked about it, we could sort out a Saturday I could be on if I know far enough in advance. But that's something that I just never really taught to John. We follow each other on Twitter, oddly enough, but I've never actually messaged him and talked to him. So he's aware of who I am, but I'm aware of who he is, but we don't actually know each other. Hence why I haven't been on Spawnwave. So far, you've given good, valuable tips. I try. I'm not like the perfect YouTuber. Like what I am doing as a YouTuber can be better. I look at things like and then there's things I get disappointed in, things I used to not care about. As an example, look at this, 12 minutes, 42 seconds. I put in probably 2 hours of work into this, probably 2.5 hours to be honest, into this Prime News yesterday. It only has 593 views. You know how disappointing that is to me? And I used to not care. I used to be like, 500 views? Hell yeah, that's a lot of views. Now I'm like, I didn't even make $2 on that video. Wasted 2.5 hours of my life. But I enjoyed making the video, so that helps. It helps enjoying what I do. That's why I say be passionate. Because you'll get disappointed like this. Like, okay, whatever. I still had fun making it. Unfortunately, this video today, that took me a lot less time, did better. Why did this one do worse? Probably didn't title it the best. The thumbnail's kind of like, what is this? Can you tell at first glance? What the heck is this image behind me? Whose face is that? Is that Reggie? Like, the thumbnail's not really clear and concise, and the title, I probably could have made the title better. And I know that. But you live and you learn, and you just do it better the next time. Let's see here. You've been making YouTube videos for over a year, and you have 400 subs. Nice. Is that a bad amount of subs to have in a year? Can you look at your channel and give you some advice? That's That's not a bad amount of subs. Oops. I mean, 400 is not bad. You're doing something right. Let's see here. Hey, you got views. Hey, man, you've got some stuff that's got 4K views. It's pretty cool. Well, let me check your branding. I didn't talk about this. Branding's important. Branding is huge. You want to make sure you build a brand because it's a brand people trust. This branding's fine. This is fine. That's all fine. You're doing fine on that front. So logo, text, something that clearly makes you stand out. Like for my channel, if it ever goes to it, Tender Prime logo, clear and concise what I do on the channel. Logo, consistent branding in the thumbnails. That's important because once people like your videos, having it stand out on their homepage. Like when I go to my homepage, and I'm like, I know this is Unbox Therapy without even needing to look because he puts himself in every thumbnail like this. So I know that's Lou. So I know that's a video I probably want to watch because I like Unbox Therapy. I know this is Scott the Waz without me even looking because he puts himself in every thumbnail as well. And that's just the way he brands. If I go down here, like I know it's the Switchforce logo every video. Let me go to subscriptions here. The Game Explain, obviously with the clear Game Explain at the top. Easy Allies always has like Easy Allies on the thumbnail of every video. So like branding's important. Lets you know you can trust that video, right? All right, TBRJ Gaming. I'll get to your channel here in a second. I've been taking notes. I don't know if I'll start making regular videos, even though I want to. But thanks for the tips. Yeah, there's just a lot, right? It's just a lot to take in. Just start small, start simple, start with something you care about. All right. I was going to use my in-game name on WoW for your branding since I use that for pretty much everything. But some people might have trouble pronouncing it. Is it kind of like the Kill Jaden name, where there's like apostrophes and weird letters everywhere? Scott that was. Had some kid on Fortnite sigh and swear at me because he couldn't pronounce it after 2 tries. I just say that's fun. People can't pronounce my last name. I think it's just funny when people spell it or mispronounce it. All right, so TBJ. Let's see what we got here. Let's go to your normal videos. So a few things. See how consistent you are. This was yesterday. So you got a montage. This feels like clickbait. Yeah, it's clickbait. Whenever people say not clickbait, it's like always clickbait. First off, like this TBRJ Gaming, you need to put like an outline around it, a white outline, to make it stand out. I'm not saying that you should put TBRJ Gaming all the way across your thumbnail, by the way. Not in the middle anyways. But if you're going to, any text like that, you see how that like dark that is? On a phone, someone might not be able to read that. So I would put a white outline around the text. Man, you got some interesting channel. So one thing I am noticing is that yeah, see, you put white outlines around some of this stuff. So you have to know that doesn't look good in comparison to like this. So I like how some of your thumbnails are. Some of them don't make sense. Like this is really difficult. That blue or whatever you put around it, not good enough. You need to do a thicker white. And I know it sucks saying that you want to be unique, but you want people to actually be able to read what it is at a quick glance. People have very short attention spans, so you need to really like make it really obvious. Is what I'm saying. Let me see. How are your Okay, one thing in your description, you need to put a few sentences about what the video is, because when people look up on Google or look up on YouTube, what's in your description is what appears in the small little preview text. And if all you have in there is like subscribe and here's a link and here's this, people aren't going to know what that is. And it doesn't help you for searches. So one thing that'll help you with searches is having a little paragraph at the beginning of every video down in the description. You'll see that I don't do that as much for Prime News anymore, but I need to get back to doing that for Prime News. Let me see what else. Yeah, what do you got going on for tags? Your tags look okay. Pretty generic, but that's okay. Tags are tags. I'm not going to talk about what you can do inside your videos. That's a deeper dive than I'm going to do on an individual channel right now. That's something you probably have to pay me for, just to be honest, because I would have to actually deep dive into your analytics, deep dive into actually watching a bunch of your content to figure out what I think could be done differently and better to get more views. And I'm not going to do that today. So just at a quick glance, just better descriptions, more consistent with your thumbnails. I don't know what to tell you with your titles because it's definitely a Fortnite channel. At least it looks like a Fortnite channel. I could be wrong. I'm not deep enough into the Fortnite. I mean, look at this. You hit 200 subscribers 7 months ago. So you're at 200 more, 7 months later. That's pretty good. That means you're on pace for what? 350 or so in a year? That's not bad. You're obviously gaining momentum. I mean, how long has your channel been around for? Let's see if it tells me here. I mean, April 2017. So little over a year. So that means, that means you gained more subs in the last 7 months than you did in the entire first year. So, I mean, you're doing fine. You're on a fine trajectory. You're probably going to hit your first 1,000 as long as your upload schedule is consistent some point next year. That's not bad. You might hit your first couple thousand like a year after that. You're on a nice trajectory already, is what I'm saying, for a starter channel. You're definitely doing nice for a starter channel. So, hopefully those little quick tips helped. Let's see here. What software is good for making thumbnails? So I use Photoshop. I mean, there's literally the thumbnail I made today. And it's like $20 a month or something. I think if you're in college, you might be able to get it for a lot cheaper. I'm not saying you should do that. That's spending money. You can use paint.net or any other free program if you would like. Heck, you can use MS Paint if that's what you have. But I like the tools in this. Like the tool I use to grab myself is this one right here. This quick selection tool. That's how I can go to like I grabbed this guy out of one for a thumbnail for a stream. But like this is where like how I selected myself here. Like, say I want to throw this painting in, so then I just kind of click and see how it kind of grabs the painting there. And now I'm gonna copy paste to a new thing. Maybe be other. I don't know why it's taking so many clicks on this thing. Oh, probably because I told it not to grab this painting before. Whatever. You get the point. And then I copy this, and then I go to like, let's go here. Let's delete the text. Oh, so we have a 1080p image with a blue background. Boom. There's me with the painting. And I'll look. You'll see like this. Oh, I better go in there and delete that. I'm going to use the eraser tool. Blah, blah, blah. Get rid of that line. All this stuff. Anyways, I use Photoshop. Can't suggest Photoshop enough. Can't suggest Premiere Pro enough. See if it loads up here. I use Premiere Pro for video editing. But, again, these are professional suites. Take some time to master. The thing is, there's a lot of tutorials for anything you want to do. Don't be scared. I'm not that good at Photoshop. I suck at Photoshop. And yet, I somehow make it work for me. See if I can load up an old project here. I don't even know if it's saved anything, to be completely honest. No, I didn't. So, like I use Premiere Pro and Photoshop. But there's other programs. I can only vouch for these ones because those are the ones I use. And they're the only ones I've ever used. Well, I used to use Sony Vegas as well, but now Sony doesn't own it anymore. So, Game Odyssey. Here's a great question. How do you find the motivation to continue to make content when it doesn't seem like many people are watching? I went over this at the very beginning, and I guess I'll go over it again. The number one person you should be making content for is yourself. If you are making content, especially starting out, how do I put it? If you're making content that you're not happy with, you're not proud of, that you don't want to watch, you're just making it for other people, not for you, then you're not making content for the right reasons. So it shouldn't matter. Like, yeah, to me, it's disappointing, as an example, when I go to my channel and I see that Prime News episode yesterday get significantly less views. Significantly less views. Like, half the amount of views the Prime News usually gets. I mean, look at this. 593, 4 days ago. 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6. 1.1, 3.4, 2.6. I mean, for me not to get 1,000 views on a Prime News episode is not good. That's bad. That's really bad for me. But why didn't I get it? And that's one thing I look at is, was it the Prime News? Like, is it because people don't want Prime News? Well, no, look. I get decent viewership on Prime News. So it's not that people don't want it. Is it the topics? Well, why were people clicking on these ones? Animal Crossing rumor. Animal Crossing, Mario, Mega Man. Okay, cool. Better thumbnail, better title. Super Mario Party reviews. Better title, better thumbnail. Monolith Soft hiring. How many people really care about that? Should that be my lead headline? Probably shouldn't have been. I should have led with the Game Boy games on our phones patent is what I should have led with. But I didn't lead with that. I led with Monolith Soft hiring. So because this gets cut off, people just see Monolith Soft hiring and Game Boy games. Not a very good way to get people to click. Then, on top of that, my thumbnail. It looks like, from a distance, that I'm just looking at a Game Boy. I am looking at a Game Boy. That's what that looks like to me. Most people probably didn't notice the Reggie face. Most people have no idea what this image is here, that this is from Monolith Soft. It's a bad thumbnail. It's a bad thumbnail and a bad title. So I ruined my own video. I cost myself viewership by not making a better video or a better thumbnail and a better title. That's on me. As for staying motivated when maybe the title and the thumbnail are fine, let me give you an example. Because obviously that's one motivation is, oh, I just need to do it better. I need to be better. The content's great, but people don't get to that like 96% like ratio. Most people that saw that content thought it was great, but getting people to watch it, 99% people like my video today. But let me give you an example of one that didn't perform well, that I don't think there's anything wrong with the title and thumbnail. Let's see here. I'm sure I've got another one that's not at 1,000 somewhere. Here we go. This is a single video. Bot and Katos 3 was real. Ask Bandai Namco if we want another one. So only 743 views. 8-minute video. Okay, probably an hour's worth of work in this video. Here's the thing. It sucks that video didn't break 1,000 views. It really does. Is there anything wrong with the title? No. It literally is Bot and Katos 3 was real. That's a really damn good title, in my opinion. Thumbnail clearly has an image from Bot and Katos. Says Bot and Katos 3 in the thumbnail to clarify if people aren't sure what that image is of. Has my branding. Everything looks fine. To me, this is a really great thumbnail, really great title. Has a 100% like ratio. But it's a topic that not as many people care about as I was hoping. I thought more people on my channel would be into Bot and Katos than there really is. Reality is, a lot of people probably don't know what Bot and Katos is. A lot of people have no interest in Bot and Katos. They know what it is and they didn't like it. So it's a topic that underperformed compared to my other videos, but there's nothing I could have did to make that video perform better. So how do I stay motivated when something like that happens? I realize, well, I still enjoyed making the video. And I would make that video again and again and again, because you need to make videos you're passionate about. This video might only have 743 views, right? My next video on Bot and Katos might hit 800 views. My next video on Bot and Katos might hit 900. Bot and Katos 3 gets announced for Switch, might hit 1,500 to 2,000. All of it built up from me covering this topic I really am passionate about and really care about when nobody else seemed to care about it, and continuing to bring it up. And in continuing to make it a thing, more and more people eventually come to your channel to watch about that thing. As an example, I've been highly positive on Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee from day one. Highly positive on it. Continuously. My Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee videos are constantly disliked. But you know what? By the time Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee come out, if someone's looking for positive coverage of that game, they're probably going to know, hey, Nintendo Prime has had positive coverage of it the whole time. I'm going to go check out his stuff. So a lot of it is just not always looking at the views as, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing ever. This video underperformed. You can look at it as, why did the video underperform? In the case of my last Prime News, I gave examples. Other cases are people just aren't interested in that topic, aren't interested in that content. And for that, you just go, but I want people to be interested in that topic and content. So how do I make people get interested in it? Keep making content like that so you build an audience for that kind of content. Too often, people will be like, they see this and they'll be like, man, I'm just never going to talk about Bot and Katos again. Why? If you care about it, if you're passionate about it, keep making it part of your channel. That way, you grow a user base that cares about it. You think all the people that watch OJ from Player Essence cared about RPGs like he does? Some of the obscure ones he really likes? No. But he kept talking about them. And he talked about them and talked about them and talked about them, to the point now that people watch his videos for those obscure RPGs. Again, it's more important you make content you are passionate about, you care about, and is the kind of content you would consume, versus always worrying about what your audience is consuming. If I just worried about what my audience would want, I would just probably cover controversies. I'd be like Rich at Review Tech USA. He covers a lot of controversies. I would just cover controversies nonstop. Like my most viewed video recently, Nintendo Paid Online's blocking DLC. Sure, just do stuff like that. 4,000 views. Let me see here. Another top view. I mean, you know, Super Mario Party's not playable in handheld mode. Is this a limiting factor? Again, drama. You know, let's see here. You know, this got a lot of views again because it's controversial. This opinion I have is controversial on that. You know, this got a lot of views because it's kind of clickbaity. Admittedly, it's kind of clickbaity. It's not clickbaity in that it's untrue. It's just clickbaity in that you see this thumbnail, you see this, and you really want to click. So yeah, I would just cover controversies if all I cared about was viewership. Your channel update, only 489 views. Does that mean I shouldn't do channel updates? Of course not. The 489 people that viewed this were people that really want to know an update on the channel. And every now and then you'll get like I remember like this one. It's funny people didn't get the joke in this video. It was a joke video. It's kind of funny. But like look, Philomucin, like the last video I had really go viral. 88K views. But again, not only was it a recent popular topic, it's a controversial topic. So there's a lot of variance. But just keep making the content you're passionate about and people start showing up for that content. Let's see here. So I just finished watching a stream on Twitch related to this game. I do not own Super Mario Party yet. Money. I don't have the money for it right now. I plan to pick it up at the same time I get Battle for Atlas, which means it'll probably take a backseat to Battle for Atlas, but yeah, I really want to pick up Super Mario Party. You're gonna... Oh, no problem for the advice, TBR. What's up, Acceptable Tech? How's it going? Literally just keep uploading videos, man. That's the best way it works. I mean, that's the thing. If you like the video you made and you're proud of it, just keep making more of it. People will eventually show up for that kind of content. I know it's a dumb thing to ask, but take a glance at my channel. Other than low video rate, then again, you stream a lot. Sure, I can glance at your channel. give you a kind of a quick, what is it, Gromsky Gaming Edition. See if it pops up. Okay, it popped up. He's got 24 videos. He got almost 200 subs with 24 videos. That's pretty good. Instead of looking at your categories, let's look at your stuff here. Let me see here. Are these streams? I'm assuming these are streams, right? Streams. Stream. Oh yeah, these are all really long. I'm assuming these are like live streams. That's a standalone video. Look at that. I mean, 409 views. Obviously, if you care about just viewership and growth, you'd make more videos like this, more consistently. Whereas your live streams, I mean, your live streams are doing all right for a channel your size. So, like, if you just care about viewership and growing your channel, I mean, more videos like this. More, oh, one thing I can say is make sure the text doesn't go underneath the timestamp. Everyone sees this timestamp, so, like, no one can read that word. That's just a general tip. Like, I see a lot of channels, even big channels, still make this mistake of having text behind the timestamp. Don't do it. Just don't do it. No one can read it. So, it won't work. So, yeah, I mean, one thing is consistency. You're kind of all over the place. I think you had, it looks like, what, 2 2-hour streams here today. And then your last stream was 3 days ago. 6 days ago, 1 week. But, like, 1 month, 2 weeks. Like, you have some big gaps. You're just really inconsistent with your streams. And you're definitely inconsistent in how you release standalone videos. So the big thing for me is consistency, consistency, consistency. Whatever you're doing, however often you want to do it, you need to make sure you do it, period. No excuses. So that's basically the biggest piece of advice I have for you right now, just at a quick glance. Jonathan had some kid on Fortnite science swear at me because he couldn't pronounce it after 2 tries. I know that feeling regarding Let's Go. I commented on Shy Guy video once about how I'm looking forward to a casual romp around a game I adored as a child. Got lots of hate. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just need to run away from comments like that, you know? Not everyone's going to want to play games for the same reason you want to play games. Yeah, no problem, Game Odyssey. I hope I helped a little bit here. I'm really glad you cover a lot more than drama. I drop watching other channels if most of what they cover is drama. Thanks for continuing. Yeah, I mean, I'll cover the drama when it's relevant. Like, people were used to complain that I was beating the Philip Mewson stuff into the ground. But, like, it was an ever-developing story. So because I covered it in the first place, I felt like I had to see that story all the way through. And, yeah, obviously covering it was good for business, good for my business, made me money. But I didn't cover it for money. I was appalled at what happened, and Philip Mewson used to be a YouTuber, a Nintendo YouTuber. So he's one of us. He's a channel twice the size of mine. So, kind of sucked, to be honest. I wish it never happened. I wish I never had to cover that story, that it never existed. But what are you going to do? I would ask you to peek at mine, but my channel's all over the place. I mean, if your channel's all over the place, at least you know the issues, right? Consistency, a type of content type that lands consistent. Like, you can have different kinds of content, but it needs to be around the same basic themes. Attica's the exception. Attica's an interesting guy. I won't get into him. I'm not going to deep dive on Attica here. You stream daily? Well, I didn't see daily. I guess maybe the stream was yesterday. You definitely don't stream daily, though. Because, like, you have a 3-day gap here, and then, like, at least a 4-day gap here. A week gap between this one and this one. So you're not streaming daily, that's for sure. You're probably streaming a lot. I'll give you that. Looks like you stream a lot. One thing I can tell you is your thumbnails. They're unique. But I'm not always sure what's going on. Like, this was a stream of Wolfenstein 2, right? But the only reason I know it's a Wolfenstein 2 stream is because at the end it says Wolfenstein 2 Stream 1. Nothing about the beginning of your title gives me any information about what I'm watching at all. At all. Everything I'm looking here tells me nothing. Unlimited G rank fashion hunting. What even is that? Let's play OG Zelda. Okay. That's okay. Just need to be more. I know it's less fun. You can get into these more fun titles when once you have an audience, but when you're building an audience, you got to be a bit more direct. It kind of sucks. Your title's got to be kind of lame. But then once you have an audience, like PewDiePie can make his titles whatever he wants, and it's going to go viral. But that's because he has an audience. I have an audience. I can make any kind of video I want, and it's going to get 500 views. And I know it's going to get 500 views. It doesn't matter what I make. It doesn't matter what the title is. It doesn't matter what the content is, what the thumbnail looks like. I'm going to get 500 views on a video no matter what. But I know that. So I know baseline, I can basically do anything I want and guarantee 500 views. But you can maybe do anything you want and guarantee 12 views. Is that acceptable to you? Or do you want 45? Do you want 400? You got to be just more consistent in that regard with titles. What's the best upload schedule for a startup channel? What's too much and what's not enough? That's all about you. What kind of content are you making? Are you covering news? If you're covering news, daily. You can't just do that once a week stuff. You got to go in daily because news is happening daily. So if you're only doing that like one news video a week, it's not going to be good enough. Unless you happen to be John Oliver and you're recapping a week's worth of news at once. And then it's really hard to be entertaining to do that. So it's all about what you're doing. What kind of content are you creating will determine how often you should create that content in addition to the time you have to create content. So for something like me, even if this wasn't my full-time job, I would have to work it like it's a full-time job to keep it up. In my spare time. I would have to make the time to do that. Thankfully, it is my job. But if it wasn't, I would have to make the time in addition to another full-time job to do this, to keep up. Some people can't do that. Oh, let's see here. The misunderstanding's killing me. All right. Anyone else got some questions? I can go over stuff in this back end too if people really want me to, but like this is all from vidIQ. This is not part of the back end. I wonder what their channel audit says on my channel. Oh, I don't get that. I have to upgrade now and spend more money. Yet it's funny. Because I get some things. See, isn't that weird? Like I see my views are down 50% month over month. But my subscriber gains are up. My watch times, well, if my views are down, my watch time's down. Top search terms. My body's ready. End screen click rates. Best reviewer is the one that gets the highest clicks. Cool. Then most recent upload. Subscribe. Hardly gets clicked. Gosh darn it. Yeah, so my titles, in their opinion, are too long. My description length is good. I'm not putting enough tags in. More playlists. Add end screens to all my videos. Do I have a video without an end screen? I get about 2 videos up a day. Alright. If I'm daily news channel, should I still do a video on topics that might not be as interesting? Well, all that matters, Solo, is it's interesting to you. No matter what you do, it needs to be something you care about. Post topics you care about. Don't post topics to get views. Like, let's just say I'm looking to do an extra video tonight. Cool. Well, you know what? I need to get a video out. I guess there's what might be worth making a video on. Ubisoft confirmed that there's an Easter egg, so I'm going to make this video about a Breath of the Wild Easter egg in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. But I don't actually care about Breath of the Wild. I don't actually care about Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I definitely don't care about an Easter egg. But I'm going to make the video because I'm going to make the video. Whereas, maybe you care about this. Skybound's going to be doing the last episodes of The Walking Dead, right? So, that's great. It's a topic you care about. You make the video, but hardly anyone watches. But did you care about the topic? Did you enjoy making the video? Are you proud of that video? Then who cares if it only has one viewer, and that viewer is you? Always make content for yourself first and foremost. That way, you'll never be disappointed entirely when a video gets too few views. When my Prime News video yesterday got the views it did, it was disappointing. But the video itself wasn't disappointing to me. I'm proud of that video. I put time into that video. Effort. I love that video. Wish it had more views. But ultimately, it's not going to stop me from making more of them. What matters is make content for yourself. Don't worry as much about viewership starting out. Epic Steve. I do a gaming podcast every week. I also upload gameplay. But due to my schedule, those gameplay videos can be uploaded a bit erratically. How do you balance your schedule? You have to be... I can't tell you how to balance your life, right? What I can tell you is your upload schedule should not be erratic. You can say due to your schedule, those videos are uploaded a bit erratically. They shouldn't be. Plan ahead of time. Be like, look, Friday night, every week, a gameplay video is going up. I might record that gameplay video Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, but have it done ahead of time. Upload it. Then, even if you're not home, go on your phone, load up the YouTube app, put your title in, do all your stuff, send it live from your phone. There's no reason to not get videos up consistently unless they're time-sensitive videos. If you're doing news, as an example, that can be time-sensitive. If you happen to be working when the news hits, you obviously can't make the video because you're at work. But when you're doing gameplay, you can get those videos up anytime you want. Create a schedule, maintain that schedule, do what it takes to maintain that schedule. It can still be done. Even if your life is erratic, your work schedule is erratic, you can make it so your channel is not erratic. That should be a constant. It has to be a constant if you want to grow. Let's see here. Crying over playlists. Most of my streams reach 50 views or so. It hurts to tuck them under playlists, so should I not unlist the videos? But if I do, then the normal videos will be hidden among the streams. You don't upload enough normal videos to worry about it. Just to be completely fair. You just don't upload enough normal videos. So does it matter? Until you upload more normal videos, it doesn't matter if they get buried. Viewership of most videos happens in the first few days. So, interesting that Telltale got the Batman game out, yeah. I'm not here to talk about news today, but yeah, it was pretty cool. I used an RSS reader to get Nintendo news from, yeah, me too. Yep, I used to, I get feeds from a bunch of Twitter feeds, websites. Oh, I also have this giant tab, news rounds. Look at all those websites I go to, and none of them are Twitter. Twitter is another one I go to. I don't even think I have Reddit in here. But you can see I even check PlayStation Universe. So I pay attention to more than Nintendo. I don't know why Epic Zelda fan art's on my list though. I've been meaning to remove that for a while. But yeah. Should I worry about my name being Game Odyssey? With my channel being primarily gaming video, even though there are a couple popular games with Odyssey in the title, will this make it harder for people to find my channel? No. Like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Super Mario Odyssey, those doesn't matter. I mean, should I worry that my name is Nintendo Prime when Amazon Prime's a thing? And Nintendo's a thing? Did that prevent people from finding my channel because I have Nintendo in the name or Prime in the name when there's Amazon Prime and Nintendo in general? No. No, it doesn't matter. Your username can be anything. It doesn't matter. It won't be negatively affected by that stuff. It can be negative affected if it's an offensive name, but it's not going to be negative. Well, YouTube will probably ban you eventually. The more attention your channel gets when you're using an offensive name. What channels do I even have linked? Oh. Just my other channel. It's at 920 subs. Any other questions? Ole, ole. Go check the old Twitter here. You guys are going to see my Twitter. And they'll see us, baby. On my way. Nice. Who retweeted it? Someone retweeted it. Was it OJ? Wonder who retweeted it. I wonder if it'll tell me. Oh, it was OJ. Maybe that's why I had an increase in viewership for a little bit. OJ retweeted it out. Yeah, there it is. Cool. Like my number one search term for my channel is Nintendo Prime. But the reason that happens is because people will be subscribed. People will hit the bell icon, which I can't even see on here because it's my channel. And they still end up not getting notifications. So they have to search for my channel every day to find videos. That's why Nintendo Prime is my number one search, because I have a dedicated audience that isn't getting notified of my videos. So they got to look up my channel to find my videos. It's dumb. You gotta do your daily stream? All right. Later, Gromsky. Cool. We're not really getting... Ooh. I have a phone call coming in. 1 second. Sorry, I had to go open the garage. Well, no one else is really talking, so I think that's going to wrap it up for this stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll go spend some time with my fiance before we go to bed. Peace.